fake people very quickly. It was covered in water. When they wait for the water to melt away, they will scatter. There's no shadow above the water. For a long time now, I have been pushing the Red Cross. Search around. I haven't found anything that makes you very confused. It's strange why there isn't. Corn Anise in the back curiously asked. I found it not long ago, the bass answered. The enemy seems to have left. Move the scene to the underground of Yunzu. A bunch of fake mineral seekers. It's the movement that's coming here. They just appeared in front. Someone came out and asked, "You're not hunting mythical creatures? Oh, come back to hand or not?" First of all, there's been a little trouble. Can you contact me for help? We have a job to find him. The person who nodded could. After a while in front of people, then a space crack appeared. Come out from the inside and ask if you can find me. The simulator heads straight to the point. The goal of my mission. He was dragged into the world by the new emperor. After death. I don't know if you can. Take me for a walk without letting go. Maybe he then tore open space. Link to the epitome. That's it, the fake nods, that's it. It's just that its current state is a bit strange. We can feel it alive and awake. I don't know why. It doesn't have any reaction for our appearance. If you listen to that, you will fall into silence. Right now, it's coming down from the other side of the crack. Do you need any help? The false head looks at the false reality. We need you to get into the mind of the enemy. Clarify, why does it lose its ability to communicate with the outside world? And look at it. Could it have been the fire on him? If it's the power of that fire, what to do? Real fake reassurance, no SAO all. He quickly went in front of the wearer. Then I started reciting poetry. The journey of extreme evil. Tracing the fake of the dark. Please give me temporary power. Into the mind world of this mythical creature. He was right after that. Immediately. It's easy to get into the inner world of the brain. Inside, it's piled up all around. It is still being burned by the fire. I can't help but observe for a moment. The inner world of the mythical creature. Name wears this. It's also monotonous. The wilderness is clearly visible. And the skeleton of the unknown creature, reluctant watches ornaments. So watch out for its life. Never appeared. Things can really get to it. It's the only thing that can make him remember for a long time. Only the great enemy was defeated at his hands. So the sky here will be crimson. Corresponding to killing and blood. That the fog that covers the sky. Probably caused by that fire. They are the owners of this land. It's been tormented like never before. To the extent that its inner world are sown down such a deep trail. So what kind of force is this? He just said, he just touched the fire. I want to try to feel a little. Just touched the fire. He was pushed out of consciousness back into the body. He knelt on the ground in fear. What are you kidding? This world, why does SAO have such a violation force? Fake standing on one side, his expression is full of confusion. It reminds the rest of you. I can't touch this fire. Except for the rulers. No one can accept them. He said he was crouching in a place that kept shaking. The prophet came to ask. It also means to say, the fire was held by this newly installed Duke of Zhou. You can make it in a moment. Received the punishment of burning paralysis for more than 10,000 years. Stop the fake. That's right, even if it's indirect contact. The spirit of false reality, still very hurt. He saw that the Lord had just taken office. I will be in Luoyang in a few days. Now we only have two choices. Range. Come and sit down next to me. Wake up, uncle. Stop buying falsehoods. Two prophets give an opinion. One is to leave the plan. Hands with the Emperor of Luoyang. Two is adding more people. Invite one more dominant to the battle. The prophet continued. Can't stop it. The Emperor of Luoyang, they have noticed our existence. If you stop the target we put in Luoyang, maybe he will be found. The hypocrite can only add more people. Both of them later. All eyes turn to the false head. He knows what they want, and he goes right away. Don't look at me, my master. Before collecting 10 enough hearts of the epigenetic mythical creature, or their afterlife, then he won't do it again. The prophet sighed. If the three slapped Greeks refuse to act, then we can only contact the sender. According to the belief of the ancient fake, please let them know the governor of the free and self-contained world. See if anyone can do something. Move the scene to the unknown world 6. This place is covered in a dark black, with massive untouched creatures. Freakish monster, freakish person here. This tentacle is the embodiment of the ancient Greek waterfall, 2. The messenger of the fake ancient group. The father in black armor. This is the embodiment of the great black-headed Greek. Evil general photo. This giant fireball is a Shitugia. It represents destruction. Warrior riding camel. This is the embodiment of the Greek temple. Shaman Nia Litofi. After a while, I couldn't find the center. People haven't searched for a long time. Once again, they sat on horseback and walked across the river. He looked at the village in front of him. I don't see a shadow at all right now. There was blood everywhere. The black crows gathered flocks banging on the wall in the tree. Watch for a moment. You can't help but turn your head towards the two of you. He asked the Duke. When I took office, so many people died. Why don't you both go on a date? This kind of thing, on the other hand, is not common. To give a lecture. Just after, when the emperor and his disciples tore their faces. 6 people have seen the same kind of thing. Long time ago, asked 6 seniors. How does he handle this? Standing on Baklong's back spoke up. The crazy man claimed, in front of everyone in the world. Wait for him to finish his inauguration. He will destroy the power behind those who. To hurt an innocent person, look at him. Then Sao. Have you heard of the laughing corn? Of course not. At that time, people and forces wanted to rely on Zhou Guoxin. Give eye drops to Chou Cao photo. I didn't really see what he said. Take care. They and the power behind them. Later, they were all killed by 6 men. Organs also speak up. Don't tell me I didn't warn you. It's an interesting fire. Long time, or should we do the same? Move the scene to the opening. Hie you along with the flow. I am now going to the king. When he saw the 2 of them, he stood up. Whatever this morning, I suddenly saw a surge of enthusiasm. This person is a reformer. It's called a religious leader. Van Dao, the ruler of Ian Min. He saw 2 people coming. I can sort of guess their intentions. The king and the supreme commander arrived. Watch out, today is the day of my swearing in. He directed him to explain. The monster of heaven is calculated. Luoyang is standard. There was a calamity. So please, the king, to save Luoyang from burning oil, turn the scene to the devil. The 2 Trong 2 together with Lu Tuan Thin. I'm talking about this on the Google review channel. Suddenly, in the middle of the house, there's a glass prism that doesn't appear. Those who contact them are important. He doesn't have a direct line to the main issue. 4 days later, there was a ghost. Tuan Thong Monastery. You two hurry to Luoyang to fight. Startled by the wind, the scourge of creation. They don't pay attention to their behavior. Very good. A cold voice reminds you to get ready. Then let's go. I've spoken to the monster before. He will stare at you. So don't go without coming. When finished, directly cut off contact. Then he digs the mountain next to Saira. Old Peach. This time I will bother you and throw your hands away. There is no evidence of healing under the nest. That is to save yourself. This little morality, we do not know why. But he didn't have time to finish his sentence. The shadow is not important. When did he disappear? You're so quick to move your chin. Watch out the cataclysm of the world. This time the pressure is on. Bigger than in the imagination. Moving the scene to Jiangnam. Onion on a mountain top. There was a young man and an old man. It's already here. The old man looks a lot like Tran Hung's ancestor. Young people are like 10 good people. I don't know if they have a beard. The old man pressed his hand and calculated that Ra still had 4 days. Brother, do you need to find me? Can your sister talk a little? The young man was a little suspicious. You can do that too. It's like doing that could change history. The old man replied casually, then there's Sao. Your history soon turned to the 100 Kongs. I mean broken. Be broken. It's just change. It's just small, trivial things. If you come to this, heaven will not allow you. And then there's somebody else willing to work for it. When the young man heard that, he fell into despair. A little hesitation inside a cave. Some 10 YN and YNKN are from within. Outside direction go out. As she approached the cave entrance, she suddenly stopped. It's strange to be suspicious or ask why. 10 reasons to explain. Just now, in the direction of Jiangnam, suddenly, someone appeared. You have love with me. We only have one CA. Even those who have been cut off before. Now, you are my brother. And there are 2. I am willing to give an opinion. It may be due to his biological parents. Is there another comedy in this world? 10 seriously. The parents of this body. He's been dead for 2 years. Turn the scene to Luoyang. 10 good people with a bunch of good people are here. You just walked in the dance class. At Sao foreign life fake, not be endowed by heaven and earth in Luoyang. They were not afraid of being discovered by the emperor. The dance class replied. Under normally, dark lights. Of course. It doesn't rule out that they're going to do something. In Luoyang, the people who were walking suddenly stopped. Because everything here has stopped. In front of them, there is a body standing in the middle of the road, staring at them. Tai Sun King Dong Hoa, people like you come to the capital. I don't know what happened. Nothing. Sao didn't give an hour's notice. These are the kings of the world. 10 cardboard shape. The peak of transformation Hoa Kai crazy. It's called the Bach tradition. If not emperor all week long. I recognized you in the crowd. I didn't know you were here. Refund the explanation. We go to Luoyang to find people. I'm not going to be here long either. It seems that this year has not yet come to evil. The evil of the king. Why break the rules all week? The 5th month of the lunar calendar is called the evil month. Month 1. The 5th month of the lunar calendar is the day of the week. The kings coldly replied. Because rats have sneaked into the city. The king was excited to hear that for an hour. Move the scene to the other side. There are 2 pictures outside the city right now. A big, a small, standing there waiting. The middle-aged man on his face was clearly worried. Why hasn't come yet? It shouldn't be. This man is the governor of the county with pure corn. Fire Heaven Army Graduate School. Fire Department in Min Hoa. Very fast in the distance. Old people with corn. Appeared before our eyes. He is middle-aged. I'm excited to see these people. 2 companion stars. The new Zhou took office. He quickly turned towards the long-running crowd. May's god of the capital district with the national architecture. Be suspicious or ask. The devil is hard to deal with, right? That's why you rushed to pick us up. Pure corn explained. Not the same thing. It's that the ocean changes. People who hear that are confused. You mean why? Mays put his hand in his shirt and took out a letter. This is the letter that the commander-in-chief sent to the district. Please take a long look. Get the letter quickly. Open it. The content inside is very brief. Liu Yang has a fast-approaching ghost. Move the scene back to Lost Ocean. I will ask you to explain the details. Say not. What we're looking for is the same group of people. Sand gave an opinion. On the road, this is not convenient. Let's change places. Concord also did not hesitate to respond immediately. After a while, they followed the Sand somewhere. Short sitting in the house. He drank tea and asked. I can tell you now. After all, people from somewhere are sneaking and lost. The Sand sighed. Actually, until now, me and the Emperor of Liu Yang, it is not yet clear who the enemy is. When he heard that, his face was filled with wonder. The Emperor continued to preach. I'm not kidding. If it wasn't for volunteer, there's a problem in the supply chain. Then maybe we and the Emperor of Liu Yang to the present still don't know anything. Dong Hoa suspected, or we remember the structure of the trenches around the city. At the God stage, the city has expertise towards the identification of volunteer thieves. Logically speaking, if there are heretics, to blend in and block out the will to compute, give to the king. You must quickly identify it. Who did it? The Emperor lamented. It's this morality. But we don't know. Finally, the thief stole Kier's resources. How did it work? The Emperor was unable to locate him. Then ask again. You don't send a letter. Please the celestial body out SAO. Just need the monster to summon some math power. For your business, the thief stole the resources. No matter how well you hide, it's useless. Sand Wang replied, it was sent, but they said. 5 days later, you can split a little math between us. So these days, New York City all week. With high intensity, because I want to not let the thief hide. To the commoners to escape. Waiting for results. The fortune teller's raven caught the turtle in the jar. Think about the same thing. Related to the shortcomings of the Shinto demonic system. If possible, we want to capture them alive. Ask them how they can do that. That's right, you go to Liu Yang to find someone. I've been king all week. We can find help. Tune in a little hesitantly. Some of the false lie foreigners are not endowed. He pointed to the 10 people sitting next to him. This little brother of mine. After being promoted to Yin Quan, you have to judge a certain number. Japanese wife fake. It's not in heaven. It can strengthen the level. Just or Liu Yang here. That's why we're here. The Sand is doubtful, or not endowed by heaven and earth. Maybe it's the same as you think. It's the beings outside, following the Gentiles in the storied sky. Go into this place. Turn the scene to the open Lao. At Nin Nat's personal cultivation site. He's back in the cage, where there's a flow rate. It's 1,000 times faster than outside. Last time 100 times. This time he played directly. 1,000 times, give it fast. Turn the scene to the White Queen. She's standing on the chair. Look below and shout. Don't hide anymore. No one can sneak into the cave. The white core of the king, without being discovered by the king. She just finished. The old man with the boy looks like 10 good. Slowly appeared in the great hall. He directed her to applaud. No tiger is the transformation of the cataclysm. It's simpler than zombies. That's it. You can discover the old man's hidden art. To look at the enemy's face. The head is very strong. The White Queen doubted or asked. The Lord does not feel the enemy from you. You must avoid the eyes and ears of others. What is it about the king? The old man laughed. The old man wanted to listen a little. It's about your guardian. It's not that far away. Suddenly sneezed constantly, and suddenly, a group of people are eating with him. If you think so, suspect or not. The police officer couldn't help but ask. So what's wrong with that? Someone is talking about me. In his heart, he thought. Someone ran to the foreign office looking for Box CU. The queen listens to my work. This person could be someone. At the same time, the old people are speeding. The horse runs towards the lost. Soldiers converge battle with the participation of man. About to start. People are talking. And suddenly, there's a condensation in the middle of the house. The one who came was the Emperor of Luoyang. He directed them to say, there's a problem. The sand stood up. Harmony reminds us. There is now a foreign life invading Luoyang. Did you notice when you came out? Top frown frequency. I've never really discovered the alien world. Is this news credible? He asked in a loud voice. It's the sound seal that proves you're trustworthy. At the same time, somewhere in Luoyang City, a teenager standing in front of a painting. Report the elder. The emperor has returned. You can go out and be king. Tan sitting in the picture. Turn your head and look out. Because I want to hide my identity. So every time the king goes on patrol is that he's hiding in a gas mask. He just came out and asked, you guys, did you find any Westerners in the city? The young man replied, no. Tall, tan, depressed, hugging head. I saved the fire to remind them. Why are they still so confused? If it lasts any longer, the day is coming. The ties have forced me. Teenager gives old man opinion. Or let the little people go to the picture. Shove a piece of paper. Let's get this straight. So Tan shook his head and left. Around this place, probably, there are many ears and eyes of the Western Tai Kier group. We're going to wait another 3 days. If it still doesn't work out, then I dragged you into hiding. No more pictures. Turn the scene to the open Lao. Full-body corn sacrifice abundant resources, lying floating on the compassion stage. There are 9 things according to heaven. I can't stand it. I thought I was standing below smiling. Christians waste so much energy. Is it really okay? Mei's Tao, scatter Te. I and the other priests of the Shinto demons are not the same. How much energy do we expend? And then it can all be repaid. So that's not a waste. I thought I woke up. If you say so, outside you still have a temple. Corn cells shake their heads. Then it's not. It's the idea on the face. My will is eternal. Forever is not shallow. At this point, in the middle of the house, there was a spiral. Nin inside from the inside that quickly embodied. You two thought you were talking. I couldn't help but be surprised to see him appear. Corn Tao cosmetic frown. It's not for days, is it? That's how he processed it into the isotope orange manure. I thought my face was full of confusion. His life expectancy has been lacking for a few years. Maybe it's him. Go in front of the two of them. Thought, you two will come with me to Luoyang for a trip. We're not waiting for the devil anymore. Doubtful or not waiting anymore. Important to explain. Luoyang has changed. High-level strategy to suppress the situation urgently. Move the scene to the side of heaven. He is sitting here with King Ian Min. King Ian Min played chess and sighed. I am bound by an oath. If not, I can go with you. To see the taste of the heavenly world. King Ian Min, when I was alive, I can definitely climb to the top. More Peach Sun continued. There's no other way. Your vow to the high priest is the most restrictive vow in 10 tones. Except for the great attack, and the disciples of the world started the war that time. Ra, you haven't had a chance to take the oath in years. Even if you go to the creative ghost action in Luoyang, you still have a way of being completely free once again. Wait a minute. Two people talking in the yard. Suddenly, there was a cycle. Bring 2 people with you. It's very quickly Korn has appeared here. My son sees them in his heart. Hard to avoid doubt. I didn't say I'll start tomorrow. How did today come? Minin go to say Ra. King Ian Min is also here Sao. That's the right time. I invite you to come with me to Luoyang. Before a battlefield deployment. Move the scene to the outside. The queen heard the old man ask about his guardian. It's full of doubt. It's the right thing to do. What did you hear about him? The old man smiled. The old man wants to know Boxiu Dong 6 Van Yen disorder. When did he give it to you? And get it from Hand AI. The queen's face wrinkled when she heard that. She thought for a moment. Then he said out loud. Help one hand. The reason doesn't answer. Just look at her with puzzled eyes. The queen laughed and looked at the old man below. He killed the old man with the king. The old man had no fear either. Still keep the form of Thong Dong laughing. Such a big reaction. Looks like the old man got the point right. In a nearby cave, 10,000 soldiers are sitting in Da's eye. Suddenly, I heard a noise. He immediately directed the pole next to him. Did you hear that? The bird is dreaming of being called up by him. Dreaming of turning his head. You hear what the Lord says. White Bone Queen and good reason. He seems to be fighting someone. 10 Dean together with Yerkatine. He's also staring out the door. I can see the faces of 10 people who have asked. He's here. 10 seriously, yes. Outside the door very quickly there was a body image slowly emerging. 10 seeing this man is even more difficult to understand. Teen goes to front of smiling girl. I haven't seen you for a long time. The 3-pointed figure also appeared behind her back. They were temporary. Give back control of your body. 10 view CACA full of confusing. CACA SAO, you've grown up. Teen sighs. There's a lot going on. Outside the queen's hordes began to fight. I saw the white bone coming from above. The old man immediately attached to the hands of the gods 36 France. The magic he uses is self-image free. It's easier to say than standing up straight. The goosebumps beat in front of you. His body turned into. Just let it through. The queen stood up in surprise. Through it. SAO. Rationale who, hold Theo. The school suddenly appeared behind the head. It's not a 5-way street. Let me deal with him. The old man turned his head slightly and glanced at him. Respectful face. Develop the spirit of breaking the law. A strong wound towards the head. Like the last time this one hit. The old man's body, it turns into an image, wears it through. Reason exists, filial frown. It doesn't work. The old man opened his mouth. It is the old man's own impersonal power that is so easy to destroy. He then executed Ra's ego, the prime minister. Behind Mr. Ra, there immediately appeared a giant minister. Swinging hand direction of survival enthusiastically banged down. Away to travel the self. This man's foot fell directly. Make the ground smoke and dust. That's why the whole cave was severely shaken. I look in the distance and wonder. I heard it this time. The match seems very intense. The 10,000 soldiers standing beside him helplessly did not know what to say. People have been fighting ever since. He just discovered Ra and acted as the one who discovered Ra. First of all, there's a lot of smoke in the cave. The old man was now standing on the minister's hand. Look at the bottom. 1,000,001 of my chefs. And you didn't die. You have that ability too. There are no scratches at the bottom. The same answer is the same. I also met the magic for the first time. Not afraid of blood pressure shock. Old man, maybe you're not an anonymous person. I just don't know your power. How long will it last? The old man heard these words and was quiet. Refused for comments. Move back to the 10-year-old. After listening to Caca, she asked, even if we help, brother of the future, he will still lose his body. 10 future goodness rubs the smiling girl's head. This is the intended end. Ever since we've been dragged into the temple of the land in Yosan. You don't need to help me this time. Go through the bun ceremony. Then assist the 3 ladies to complete the task. Let them take you out of this world. I look at you nodding. We're going to do that. How about you? I can't shake my head anymore. At this moment, the head came from behind. You haven't finished yet. My 2 brothers turned their heads to look at him. Are you finished there? The old man stroked his beard, laughing. It's done. The time and location of the next battle. It's all done. We should go. 2 people who are filial with the White Queen. He was killed for the battle. He's still struggling outside the cave. Rational existence gritted its teeth and gritted its teeth. This debt will one day be reclaimed. Move the scene to the other side. The old people with the nest are speeding. The direction of Liu Yang. They're flying like horses. Suddenly, there are 2 bodies in front of you blocking the road. These 2 chicken heads are god killers. 2 barcodes with Feng Bao. They have the courage to take away the souls of the living, being enslaved for yourself. One of them directed the people who said Ra. Creating iron bars in the district. Special agent to launch. The sweat on Baklong's back. I can't help but laugh at them. Wildcat thing, grade wild dog. As low as this, I dare to stand in the way. The fire on him was burning. They're screaming. Now for Lao Tzu. The 2 chickens saw the corn when they panicked and sweated. It's the fire god of the devil. Behind the 2 of them, there's another body hiding inside the bushes. He saw the corn people. It is also extremely difficult to understand in the heart. The devil and Kao Ra Sao go together again. Then move the scene back to the Lost Ocean. The king is silent now. Full city situation sensor. In his head, very quickly, there are countless images. 2 people Tran Hong, disguised entry is no exception. After a while, he opened his eyes and woke up. The man in front asked if he had found it. The emperor shook his head. There are no Westerners in the city. Maybe they made a mistake. When he was angry, he asked back. You are a suspicious person. Elegant without any fear of chalk, on the contrary. Even the vow of the sea is still sought out by the privateer. Do you dare to guarantee your martyrdom will have no room? He gritted his teeth and stared at him. You are looking for something, right? The king is not weak, looking back. I'm just telling the truth. The king stood in the middle and advised. Don't fight anymore, guys. Please talk to me calmly. 10 people sitting on one side raised their hands. My master said that Luoyang and Liaocheng are the same, are ancient cities of long history. Should it be from pre-frequency times? People say, what's possible? All the people turned their heads to look at you. The sand asked seriously, what do you want to say? Dong Hoa laughed and laughed, but did you hear Ra Sao? Tian, this Luoyang-like name is no exaggeration, that it's built layer by layer. On the ruins of previous dynasties, this area is covered by the tombs of emperors, general and prime minister. Old man Kier, I just checked on the ground. Of course, you won't find it. External lie discharge. He's hiding in a grave somewhere under the ground. When you hear that, you will say it again. Then check it out again. The cold is cold. You don't have to say I will too. Move the scene to 1. On the other side, with Tran Hung, sitting in a tea house resting. He sighed in the direction of Chen Hung. I searched for 2 days and arrived. Even the shadow of the pagan, hiding in the capital. We can't find it either. I worry about continuing like this. The old man will think we're being derelict. Tran Hung Tranan. Probably not that much. Or we pray to God for help. Please give me a hint. Ko Yep sighed. If we could have done it sooner. What do you need to remind me of? 2 people at the same time. Trong Tu and Lu Tuan also went to the outer edge of the forest near Luoyang City. They just showed up. Tran Hung can touch it. Turn your head nervously looking out. Ask a question or ask. Why don't you tell me? There was a tie on the list earlier. Just walked by the tea house door. Tran Hung explained. It's not the leftist guru who just arrived outside the city. It's kind of stronger than the 2 of us put together. Going outside the city is hard to understand. The sand and the sand. What are you doing? Luoyang is about to see the creation ghost. Why are they still? Let them enter the city. Willow Tuan prosperity, next to continue. You don't understand this. At a time like this, if you make the bad guys, it's about to create a demonic apocalypse. It was discovered that the government was organizing a mass exodus. Guess what they think? Ha ha. He glanced back, he asked. You feel the power of this world is taking the life of the Luoyang in exchange for a chance to ambush Sao. Willow Tuan nodded. Other than this, you can find another reason. Explain this situation. He replied that he couldn't find it. This is not too much like the Gao family. Willow Tuan is right. High and high real police will not do. They will not allow others to do so. But don't forget that Gao had a long life. Inside the city, the harmonic people, it has also inspired the appearance of Lu Tuan. What the hell is today? The thief stopped. The will of the king and his wife. Cornered into Luoyang, not resolved yet. There is a god outside the city. The face tone is down. Lu Tuan personally came. Let's leave it to the fakes first. Please be king again. During the week, we went to see the left-wing leader. The king did not agree. The emperor quickly deployed raw magic. Abnormal thawing. He was with the king. And then disappeared inside. Grand hall. 10 good looks at him turned into resistance and woke up. So that's the idea of morphology. Concord reminder. Don't take them lightly. It's still in the prime of time. But I've done tissue damage before. 10 suspicious, or What is tissue? The mediator explained that he was the old man of love.